I didn't even have a place to live, right?
What is the outlook for your sport in Paraguay? Lehi Leiva arrived in Paraguay from Peru with a simple cardboard suitcase and, in just a few years, has become a martial arts icon in the country.
There were many opportunities, but few ideas.
That's very fast.
Extremely fast.
Today, he runs 8 gyms and plans to open up to 50.
The goal is to reach every city.
Demonstrating that with vision, discipline, and courage, it's possible to turn dreams into reality.
But I decided to take a chance and I stayed.
His story is truly proof that Paraguay is a land of abundant opportunities for those who want to invest and build something big.
The best place I could have indeed started was really Paraguay.
Greetings everyone, we're here today with the esteemed Lehi Leiva from Cronos, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the exciting prospect of investing in Paraguay. He is an accomplished entrepreneur who is also my personal coach, and very soon a new video will be released where he'll teach me to do a backflip in a suit. No,
Give it a pause!
First thing, you really are actually a foreign entrepreneur.
That's right.
Why did you come? From where?
I'm from Peru and I've been here in Paraguay for about 10 years. In Peru. I'm actually from the capital, Lima. That's where I did all of my entire training and also got all the education I have.
What sector are you in?
I am actively involved in the sports sector. I am a coach in various combat sports like boxing, kickboxing, MMA, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, capoeira, and that is truly my professional field. That is precisely what I passionately do.
Perfect. And within that whole journey, how exactly did you end up opening your very first gym here in Paraguay?
I came here because of a proposal, right? To do something. When I got here, that proposal didn't have much substance. It seemed more solid when they told me about it back there. When I arrived here, there was no investment, no capital, nothing to get started with. But as I was touring the city, I realized that I had many opportunities in this field, whether because of the difference in sports development between my country and Paraguay at that time. Paraguay in our field has grown tremendously over the past 10 years. 10 years ago, there were only 2 or 3 academies that were the biggest, and having a ring in an academy, for example, was something that just didn't exist at that time. So when I arrived, I realized the opportunity. The simple truth was I truly didn't have any initial capital, I didn't have any potential investors, and I absolutely had nothing at all. I didn't even have a place to live. So everything was like that, but I decided to take a chance and I stayed.
Were you just out there on the street, not really sure what to do, but you saw an opportunity? What did you do?
I started working for one of the very best located academies at that particular time. And from there, based upon my extensive knowledge and also my valuable experience in carefully choosing an academy, I was truly able to stand out prominently in that specific place. So consequently, I was able to take on significant leadership positions and gradually generate my own substantial capital. Over time, as you know, Paraguay is a very unique place. It has many things that make it stand out, that give it that special detail, that special touch. I got a bit more accustomed to the culture, to the established way of doing business, of selling products, and I was able to generate my own capital and secure support from some valuable investors. And that's how, after 2 full years of dedicated work, I was able to successfully open my very first academy.
Was it the one in Mburucuya?
No, it was the one in Fernando de la Mora.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's in Fernando de la Mora, north area. That's actually our first academy, which is almost 11 years old, right? 10 years, and Mburucuya will turn 5 years old in October.
Perfect. So the very first one opened in Fernando de la Mora. From there, did you realize that things were working as planned, or was there any trouble at all?
Oh, a lot of things happened. For example, when I had to open my place, they started fixing the road right in front of my street. And the person who was supposed to bring me the sign on the day it was supposed to be delivered didn't bring it. So I opened my place without a sign. My business sign arrived a full month later, so I had to advertise without a prominent sign. And with the main road in front under significant construction, people truly had to park blocks away. That was, I think, the very first challenge I truly faced. Then, quite unexpectedly, the water went out. The very next month, I didn't have any water for an entire month.
Was Paraguay different as well?
Yes, there was. A lot of things were quite different, but the nicest thing about Paraguay, if I truly have to highlight something specific, is the people. Paraguayans are so very used to things not working perfectly that they're used to supporting each other, and I received a great deal of support from wonderful friends, from my own dedicated students.
How many Cronos are there currently nowadays?
8.
8 Cronos, and they're already open.
The 7th and 8th are currently just opening right now.
So if they're already open and you're opening even more, what exactly is the goal?
The goal is to reach every city, that is to have about 50 Cronos across the whole country.
Now that you've been living in Paraguay for 10 years, is there another country? What do you think? Maybe it would have been better if I had done it over there.
To be really sincere, the very best place I could have actually started was Paraguay.
Why?
Because there are a lot of advantages. As you go along, as you realize in Paraguay, at least when I started out, I noticed that most of the people I knew were all starting some kind of business. Whether it was something small, big, or medium-sized, everyone was doing something entrepreneurial. So it's very common to start a business in Paraguay. And the most interesting thing is that by doing just a few things and doing them well, you gain recognition very quickly. You usually don't face many obstacles. Even the municipality, the government, is usually patient with you regarding permits. For example, you can open up and just with a document stating that you're in the process of getting your permit, you can start working. Do you get what I mean?
That's true, and it's the same with real estate too.
That doesn't happen in other places. In other places you arrive, and if you don't have it, you can't open.
And it takes 6 months for you to get it.
A year, right? That's great for entrepreneurs, for example, because if you arrive from another country and you have absolutely nothing at all, but you have, say, capital, from day one, you can already start working.
And when it arrives at year end, what then? You pay taxes or VAT monthly. Do you think what you pay is fair?
Yes, I think so. I think it's pretty good. Very super fair. There aren't really that many other things that you can easily deduct, actually.
So from a tax perspective, you could say it's positive.
Compared to my country, and I don't even want to imagine Europe, right? Right? Yes, totally, without a doubt.
Okay, that makes total sense. And look, within this growth that Cronos experienced, right? I imagine you had to bring in new people, human talent, appoint directors in various areas. How do you handle this? Is it easy to find talent in Paraguay? What is your philosophy? How do you manage a business that keeps growing so much, where obviously there are several locations and you can't be in all of them at the same time? At all these locations, how do you manage your time? How do you find talent? How are things with human resources?
Most of the employees here are quite young. They're typically under 30 years old, and the vast majority, indeed if not 90%, have been personally trained by me. When I have observed students with certain exceptional potential, not just to become accomplished athletes, but also to effectively teach others because of their inherent abilities, we usually engage in conversations with them, and these promising young people are then thoroughly trained as coaches. In addition, as they diligently develop their careers as competitive athletes, they subsequently become the very first candidates for me to strategically place in our new branches.
How long does the process take?
It really depends, because it's more about flight hours. There are people who have been doing something for 10 years, but in reality, they've only truly dedicated a year to it. You know what I mean? And there are people who have only been at it for a year, but they've put in 21 sessions a week, so their athletic age is different. There are kids who, after just a month, already have 4 fights, 1 per week. I've had students. Recently, I had one who trained for just 2 days and begged me to let him get in the ring and fight. And I couldn't say no to him, because even though he didn't win, he fought really well. It was a promise he had made to his grandmother. It was something very personal for him, so there was no way I could refuse. I told him, all right, let's go, and if anything happens, I'll throw in the towel. But in the end, he was happy. He left proud with his medal, really proud of.
What is the outlook for your sport in Paraguay? Because I imagine you obviously have tournaments and things like that as well. What do you think about how you found it when you arrived? What do you think about how it is today, and how do you think it will be in the future?
Honestly, before there were many opportunities available, but relatively few innovative ideas. Over time, thanks to the significant arrival and widespread expansion of the internet, and also through valuable visits from numerous foreign athletes, this initial vision gradually broadened, and the creative ideas also substantially increased. Nowadays, it's very rare for there not to be tournaments in a given month. For example, there are inter-school tournaments, national tournaments. Almost every week there's a tournament. This didn't happen before. When I first arrived in Paraguay, the sport of boxing was a fairly forgotten field. Paraguay certainly had its own history, its very respected boxing legends, but amateur boxing was, so to speak, somewhat completely forgotten. You would go to the academies and only find kickboxing, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and maybe MMA, but MMA was just starting to take off. When I arrived, I truly realized the significant opportunity, and boxing is indeed one of my absolute favorite sports. Today, it's the sport I'm most qualified in, and I said, well, if no one is teaching boxing, I'm going to teach boxing. And that's how we started. All these many years have passed, and now we are truly leaders in boxing, with more than 800 people currently training actively in boxing. Nowadays, if you go to virtually any academy that teaches combat sports, they will indeed have boxing as a discipline. Well, before it wasn't like that.
Of course. And among these approximately 800 students over a period of time, have you observed the number of foreign students grow, decrease, or perhaps stay precisely the same? Or how exactly has that particular component changed? How have foreign students been represented within your academies?
Look, there are certain seasons. This year was the year we had the most foreigners. We have people from different countries: Spain, Australia, Greece, Iraq. I even had a couple of Iraqis from Peru, from Chile. There are many, many. Now, what's also important in our field, as in others, is the location. We are located in the best neighborhoods of the city. That also significantly helps us attract a lot of international foreign visitors.
Since we're talking about physical proximity, and for someone who is watching this video and is genuinely wondering whether it's truly worth starting a business venture in Paraguay or not, why don't we share some really important numbers as well, so they can fully and completely understand the entire situation. I'm going to show here some detailed examples, for instance from Cronos, so that they can get an overall idea of the structure, the significant size, and precisely how it effectively works as an important investment project that you currently have. Now that you've opened, for example, the 7th and 8th locations, what numbers are you looking at, and roughly what kind of profitability are you seeing, so we can also compare it to other types of businesses in Paraguay?
Taking into account that, from my personal point of view, the value of my business truly lies in the exceptional service provided, unlike, for example, a gym that typically possesses numerous machines and other significant types of capital investments. My field is actually one of the most cost-effective and cheapest in terms of investment, so to speak. With a good plan, and of course doing it with Cronos, we're talking about an investment of around $30,000 to set up a standard or higher level academy. With these $30,000, you could recover your investment in approximately 18 months.
So that means that in 18 months, you're already recouping your initial investment, and from there on, you're basically generating pure profit on top of that initial investment.
That's right.
That's very fast.
Extremely fast. Well, in our particular case, honestly, we don't have the recognition that we are the top of mind, but perhaps we should. We are indeed top of mind in that specific area.
You have to pay approximately $3,000 or $4,000 in order to enter this particular contest.
Oh, look, I just found out.
I personally don't think we should do it, because in the end it's something only Paraguayans know about. So for foreigners, the fact that we're top of mind doesn't matter at all to them.
But it's incredibly important. It's like on your comprehensive list of essential things to consider, this is undoubtedly one of those crucial items.
Have you ever thought about whether it would cost about the same to do it in Peru?
In August, I was at an amazing streamer event, about 8,000 people, concert. It was crazy. One of the things I did was go around to all the gyms, checking out their payment systems, everything I could, materials, and I can proudly say that 10 years ago, I felt like I was 10 years ahead in my field here. But now, coming back, I've realized that I'm still ahead. Now, I'm not talking in general, but I'm referring to how Cronos has been doing things. And yes, I did mention in a couple of situations like, hey, I want to open something, I think it's great. And I got proposals from people who were interested in opening Cronos in Peru, for example.
And do you think the accounts would be as good as the ones you have here?
I think in some cases it is even better, precisely because of the current currency value, since in terms of its equivalence, in Peru it's double. A single sol is truly worth 2,000 guaranis. On that side, yes, there are other obstacles in that case. Because, for example, it would take me about 6 months to process patents, to get permits, and here during those 6 months I could be already working. And those are the kinds of things that discourage you a bit when you look at other areas.
Explain to me which specific areas you think are best for setting up your new businesses.
Okay, we have the well-known Villa Mora neighborhood, the vibrant Burucuya neighborhood, well-known Yicuasati neighborhood, the bustling Herrera neighborhood, the green Los Laureles, the charming Bercao, and the elegant Recoleta.
What do you think about Luque?
Luque is growing a lot. Luque is great. I have a branch in Luque. I think I would bet a lot on Luque, more than the others.
That's where I invest in real estate.
That's why, right? That's right. I mean, it has a lot to offer. In fact, I am planning to open 3 more branches in Luque because it is huge and it has connections to all the cities. Right now I'm investing in Lambaré, which is a city where there isn't much investment growth, but there's a large urban area. There are a lot of people there. And the good thing is, I really believe in being a contrarian. You know what I mean? What's a contrarian? It's like when nobody is doing anything in a certain place, that gives me an advantage because I have no competition. So I've realized that everything is moving in that direction, and so am I. But I also position myself in the wave where no one else is investing yet. So when someone says, hey, there's another place over here, I've already been there for a year. You know what I mean? I've already got everything set up, and it's going to be harder for others to compete.
What you think Fernando de la Mora?
Fernando de la Mora, well, it certainly had its time. 10 years ago, for me, Fernando de la Mora was truly great. It was absolutely its moment. Nowadays, I feel like it's a bit stagnant in comparison compared to what's really dominating everything.
Okay, that makes total sense. And what about other cities?
San Lorenzo. San Lorenzo has a lot of commercial areas, and so does Capiatá.
I wanted to ask a question about that, right? In San Lorenzo, for example, just like in Limpio, there are these truly enormous university faculties, absolutely full of Brazilian students who come here to study medicine, especially in this particular region. And Brazilians have a very long, indeed an endless history. We could imagine 1 million Brazilian martial artists. Have you ever thought about that? Is that an audience you're interested in?
I'm really quite interested, but only in a place that's within a very close proximity, perhaps 100 or even 200 meters around, at most 500 meters from the university campus, because I've already been attending classes at the faculty there. Anyone at the faculty doesn't want anything unless it's right next door. If it's not right next door, they'd rather lie down on the grass and wait for the next class, that's the truth, or go have a drink somewhere and come back. The places I've seen that interest me are all taken, so I put it on hold. It also has its timing, you know. I'm kind of like, if at some point I have people who tell me, hey, this spot opened up over here, then I'm interested. In San Lorenzo, I have a lot of demand. I haven't closed anything there yet, but there's a ton of demand from San Lorenzo and also from Ciudad del Este.
They're opening one of the biggest gyms in the world that's ever been built.
That's what they told me. I saw the post, and it would have been great if they had opened it with Cronos. That's what was truly missing. But well, perhaps if they are listening, we will arrange something on the podcast.
Great. And look, so now you obviously have a solid 10 years of valuable experience working in Paraguay. What do you think, besides your own sector, I mean, in general, about life in Paraguay and the Paraguayan economy? What kind of progress have you seen in those 10 years? It got better, it really did. What do you think about the path the country is taking?
We've had our ups and downs, as you know, and a turning point here in Paraguay was the pandemic. Yeah. There were a lot of losses. I'm proud to say that my company survived the pandemic and made it through. There were many companies like mine that had to close. But from the pandemic up to now, I've seen a lot of opportunities. Just as many businesses closed, a lot of vacancies were left in businesses that people could take advantage of. I notice a very strong and significant presence of foreign capital, as I'm absolutely sure you know very well indeed, and I clearly see it in my own business operations too. Thanks to foreigners.
You have foreign partners, right?
Yes, I have 2 foreign partners, and I love it. I really enjoy working with people from other countries because of their vision, you know? Their vision adds so much. It's truly great for me because it genuinely allows me to fully take advantage of it. For me, partnering with someone or going to another place that's a little more advanced in certain areas, it's like traveling through time, you know what I mean? It's a real way to travel through time.
Of course. And don't you ever feel at all insecure about investing in Paraguay, that the local currency might possibly collapse, the bank could potentially go bankrupt, or that inflation could gradually eat away at your money? How confident do you feel when you invest around here?
Look, there are always ways, there are always alternatives for me. Obviously, I wouldn't keep all my capital just solely in cash and in the bank. I'd also have it in various crypto assets and in other additional types of savings and interest-generating financial investment vehicles. But for me, a fairly small country and one that's quite alert can, just like in surfing, catch the opportune wave and do extremely well, truly reaping significant dividends that you wouldn't get elsewhere for a very long time by just staying put.
Great, great. I really find everything we've discussed incredibly and profoundly interesting, and I'm keeping a very close and attentive eye on all of Cronos' latest and most exciting updates, because I'm absolutely sure that I'm going to invest in a Cronos, specifically a CrossFit Cronos, or perhaps even a brand new Cronos model, as soon as the opportunity arises. Maybe CrossFit San Lorenzo will open up.
Or this Cronos for tourists is coming.
Please let us know in the comments if you would truly like a Cronos just for foreigners, and we will absolutely make it happen. In the meantime, we already have a very exciting event coming up, a special fight night on October 18th with Cronos. Our valued clients will be there, and it's going to be for a truly great charity. And do you want to talk a little bit about this project?
Yes, indeed. One of the impacts, we truly consider ourselves a triple impact company. Social impact, which is precisely what we're doing now. The other is personal impact, because as you know, sports help with personal growth. And the significant economic impact, because we truly believe our field is one of the very best in terms of generously paying our dedicated teachers, thereby providing them with essential economic stability. In the crucial area of social impact, we deeply focus on serving society effectively through everything that we diligently do. And the best idea we came up with was to organize a special event called Five Night, where it's not professionals who truly fight, but rather the students who train as amateurs, training 3 times a week, and who have regular jobs like you, or as doctors or office workers, but they fight to support a noble cause. So as a result, what happens? The whole family comes out to support someone who has never fought before. And you are doing this from your own field and with your own effort, so that with the amount we raise, we can help children who are suffering from cancer, whether it's in the early or terminal stages. As we all know, cancer is a truly devastating disease that shows absolutely no mercy whatsoever. It can tragically strike at virtually any age, and very often, sadly, ends in death. So when this terrible illness affects innocent children, it's so much worse. I have had the profound opportunity to personally meet many children with this challenging disease, and the incredible attitude with which they bravely face it is truly something you can't even begin to imagine. They handle it just the same. They're still actively playing. They still bring a lot of wonderfully good energy and positive spirit to everyone around them. You see kids with tubes walking around, and they're playing with one hand. They're still kids, so why not? You know what I mean. Why not get in the ring for a couple of minutes, raise some money, and donate it? I think it has a different meaning than just taking money and giving it away. It's different. The first event we did was Operation Smile. We supported Operation Smile, which is an organization that helps children with cleft lip and palate, and there were a lot of foreigners actually. 4 Europeans fought. It was great. I mean, it was an amazing experience. Thanks to that, we received a recognition, which is the Magi Medal. I think we're the first school in the world to have a Magi Medal, which is like an award given by the organization, usually to NGOs that support them. We're not an NGO, we're a martial arts academy.
It's truly great, and we are very proud to be an integral part of this significant project. Thank you so much. I absolutely won't take up any more of your valuable time, but it was genuinely great to see you. And for everyone else watching, we'll see you soon in Paraguay.